ask you, I was just talking to Jeremy. I asked Jeremy if you seem any different now that you're going through the grind every week of playing and having to treat your body and all that kind of stuff. You had the open week. Mm-hmm. Did you do any reflecting about when you returned to Carolina, which you were told would probably be the case for the season, and suddenly you're thrown into it and you're playing a lot and you're dealing with treating the body after a game? Did you do any reflecting during the open week about that?
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, that was pretty much a lot of time for me to just really not only think about the team as a whole, but think about me coming in and performing, doing the things that I've been doing. And, I mean, obviously there's some positives and there's some negatives on things I can really improve on. But looking back from the last game, which I don't like going back, I think I took huge strides. I mean, we were down 10, and in my mind, we're going to go down here and score. And I feel like probably my first start, the mindset would be, okay, Kobe, just go out there and do what you do. But now it's like, okay, we're capable of it, and let's go do it. And we did it. And so I'd say, yes, I did a lot of looking back at my last couple performances and looking at the positives and the negatives.
I would imagine before you became the starter, you, like most athletes, you envision yourself how you would be as a starter. Mm-hmm. I would do things this way, that way. What has surprised you about being the guy, now that you've been the guy for 5 weeks or so, about what's the responsibility, the role, about maybe some of the challenges of it, or some things that were maybe easier than you expected?
Well, 100%. I mean, your question's spot on. I mean, as a guy that hasn't really gotten many reps, hasn't really played much, it's like, okay, I expect myself to perform like this. And I don't really know if this, obviously I know the way I wanted to perform, and obviously you want to come out winning regardless. I don't care about the stats, I don't care about anything else. It's more about, to me it's about winning, and that's all I care about. And I hold a lot of stuff on me, and I wish we could come out with those wins, and I put it all on me. I mean, I'm a young quarterback and still trying to figure some things out, which I think I've took huge strides, and I think I'm only going to get better, and the team is only going to get better from here.
Jacolby, what was bothering you at the end of the Georgia Tech game? Saw you holding your side. I mean, I guess you were unable to get back in there at the end. Like, what were you dealing with?
I took a pretty big blow, and for me, it was really a decision, and it was like, okay, do I want to go out there and not be able to give my team 100%? And I didn't want to be that guy, be selfish. And the best Connor was obviously the guy for it, and after that blow, he was the guy. And so I 100% had confidence in him driving us down and hopefully hitting the Hail Mary. But those happen at once and every time. But I just wanted the guy to go out there and just gave us the best chance to complete that ball.
Did you get hurt on the throw to Cope at the very end?
No, sir. It was in between that drive, I took a blow to my left side, and I was still able to keep going. And so it was just one of those hits.
Those last two drives where you were in, you guys, it was the first one was a touchdown, and the other one was a field goal. What do you think was kind of going well for you all as an offense as you were trying to obviously narrow the gap? You eventually tied the game. What in those drives in particular do you think worked well for you guys?
I'd say it was more mixing in the run and my legs, and that's something I didn't really do to begin with. And coming into the game, I figured I'd have to use my legs quite a bit just in case the guys weren't open. And so with that being said, it was okay in my mind. It's like, okay, when things are breaking down, use my feet. I'm a great athlete, so why not use them? And when the time came to use them, that's what I did, and it helped the team out a lot. And the O-line, they had really great blocks up front. But whenever things in your head, whenever the clock is ticking, it's like you don't have much time, and I just use my legs to keep the drive going.
To go off of that, and I know we've asked you a little bit a few weeks ago about obviously, running more, even the design runs, things like that. Are you finding at this point in games, the decision to take off, if you will? Like, are you, finding yourself, more like aware of that, I guess, in moments of like, okay, like this, XYZ's not open, I'm just going to go take off and things like that?
I'd say yes, 100%. I'd say it's always been in my head. And I'm a guy that I like using my arm. And there came a time where I just got too complacent with using my arms and forgot about my legs. And so that was just a time for me to go back to who I really am and be a threat in both areas.
Coach Brown yesterday was talking about how this week he's sort of asking you guys with the open day to just start over, just look at these last 5 weeks as sort of a new season. From your perspective, what does that look like for you guys and your teammates here on the ground level?
I mean, 100%, and what Coach Brown said is 100% right. And I think a lot of guys took the time out of the bye week to really do the same things I did. Think about the positive, think about the negatives. What can we improve on? What can you improve on as an individual? And what have you done? What haven't you done enough for us to be able to come out with these wins, these close wins? And I think a lot of guys are taking stride. They're being confident and they're being critical of themselves, and that's the next step. And it's we've had, when we're good, and when things aren't going well, we just kind of shake a little bit, and we can't have that. Football, you can't have that. It's going to happen every now and then, but I like to preach next play, and that's something we really have to focus on.
Saying that is one thing, doing it's another. In terms of like, yeah, we're just going to start over. You know what I mean? Like, how difficult of a challenge do you think that will be for this team, given the stuff that y'all have been going through on and off the field ever since Randy landed in the hospital in July? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been one thing after another. Like, I mean, hitting the reset button might not be the simplest proposition, I'm saying. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I'd agree with you. I'd say we've had first half of the season we had some adversity we had to get through, and it was good that we had a bye week to really reflect on things. And I think it's a challenge 100%, but it's a challenge every single guy in this building wants to be head-to-head with, and I feel like we all want to be head-to-head with it, and we're going to take it, and we're going to use this second half of the season to do what we want to do and finish out the way we want to finish out.
Just on that note, obviously, you were at the celebration of life for Ty Lee, and just wanted to ask just your reflections on that. I know you're a really religious guy. Just touch on that, and also what is the team doing kind of to keep his memory alive through this season?
It's just things. I mean, obviously, what happened to Ty Lee, you hate for a great young man like him to be gone so early. But like you said, I'm a big believer in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior, and He doesn't take a good man for no reason. He needed him up there, and I feel like Ty Lee's done what he needed to do here, and he inspired all of us. Inspired not only this building, not only this place, this university, but the world, and that's just something God wanted him to do, and we all see that now. We were all, not saying we're not upset, we're still upset that the passing of him and he's gone, but it's a light for us all, and it's a light regardless of the situation. Is you can't really love someone until they're gone. Love them while they're still here.
Have you noticed have you seen that with Tylee's situation, it's brought a lot of faith out in some guys, and you guys have gotten together and there's more of you having moments of faith?
Yeah, 100%. It brought some faith in me when we're down by 10 actually in the game. I took another blow, and it was just one of those things to where the coaches were looking at me and they're like, do this for Ty Lee, do this for Ty Lee. So when we're down by 10, I'm in that game, and I'm like, okay, I don't care where I'm hurting at. I'm doing this for Ty Lee. He's watching over me, and I mean, it was just one of those situations to where it was going to be hard for me to come out of the game regardless of how I was feeling. And I wasn't 100% then, but at the end of the day, I felt like the team needed me, and I wasn't going to give up on them the same way Ty Lee didn't give up on all of us.
A lot of people that have never played sports, or certainly your level, won't really understand what doing it for somebody actually means and how powerful that can be. When you're thinking yourself, do it for Ty Lee, and the coaches are saying that to you, how powerful can that feel be?
It's really powerful, and I would say last game was like the first time to where I realized, okay, I've shown them I did a lot of things that would I have done in the beginning of the season? No. And me putting in that perspective really gave me the light to do whatever I wanted to do out there on the field. And I just felt like his strength was carried with me. And that's just something that you can't take back. And words are just another thing, but when you believe it, it's a whole nother thing.
Shifting a little bit, we're gonna talk to Cam Walker here in a little bit. Just want to get your perspective as one of the leaders on the team, like him. What have you seen from him, just battling through injury and still maintaining like a vocal presence and leadership role in the team throughout?
Can you ask that question again? Sorry.
Yeah, totally good. So we're gonna talk with just Cayman in a little bit. Him, just like you, leader on the team. He's been battling through some injuries, but wanted to ask just what have you seen from him and his continual leadership throughout all of that?
Yeah, so me and Cameron, we came in together, and he's always just been this vocal guy. This guy, if he sees you're lacking or just slacking, and he's going to say something, and that's just something you need in the program. A guy that, regardless of if you're friends or not, he's going to make sure you're not only bettering yourself, but also helping out the team. But for him to be hurt and still continue to do what he's doing and continue to have an impact, he's a warrior, and you can't find many guys like that. You can't find many guys that obviously he has the skill, he has the talent, but he has the heart to go out there and just put everything on the line, not only for himself, but also for the team.
How much did your body need the bye week?
It needed it 100%. But, I mean, it's going to happen regardless. I mean, each week you're going to get hit, you're going to have bangs and bruises. And, I mean, it was great that we didn't have a game this weekend to where I had more time to really focus on my body and obviously focus on me. I would say I needed it 100%.
Along those lines, talking to Chip yesterday, right after you were looking for him or before you were looking for him, you know, what is the process like with him or maybe Clyde when you guys are going through the film and looking at the throws that you make? Because, I mean, you will stand in there and take a shot to make a throw. Like, are they coaching you in a way like, look, you don't have to take this particular hit to make this particular throw? Like, do they talk to you about trying to preserve your body? You see what I'm saying? Like, because, I mean, you'll stand in there and take a shot.
100%. I mean, there's some throws where I maybe could have just got myself away for a little bit and made that throw. But I just say that just somewhat comes with the nature of playing quarterback. You have to find a way. And it's just windows. I like to preach about windows. If you don't hit that guy in that window, that next window won't be open. And so I'm big on, if he's open, then I'm going to throw the ball regardless of if I get hit. I'm going to get back up regardless. But as long as we're moving the chains, then I don't care about the outcome of my body.
When it comes to Virginia, obviously they're 4-3 team league. As you've looked at Virginia's, defense on tape, what are some of your initial takeaways on just how they like to defend?
Seemed like really well coached from not only I've seen some offensive film and most importantly I've seen some defensive film, but they seem really well coached. I mean, what they're doing now is really good, and what they do on defense, there's ways you can attack it, and there's ways where they try to make disguise coverages just a little bit. And for us, we just have to attack it day by day by doing it in practice with the scout team and making sure, me and most importantly, making sure I know where to go with the ball to where he said I don't have to take a certain amount of hits, and that's just something we're really focused on.
All right.
Thanks, Appreciate it.